to...
Can you see my T-shirt?
I mean, what are we layering here? What's going on?
Can you see it?
Well, first of all, keep your clothes on. Second of all, yes, I can see it.
What does it say?
It says Parks Casino.
I'm wearing my Parks Casino T-shirt
Yes,
today.
you are.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
At the beach, on the boat, the boardwalk, the lake, the mountain house, your backyard pool, wherever you are in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Michigan, you can play the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, and the Play Gun Lake online casino app in Michigan. Your favorite casino games with live dealers make your downtime fun time. Play live baccarat, live roulette, live blackjack right on your phone. Hundreds of exciting online slots like Slingo Fire and Ice, Capital Gains, Fantastic Fireworks, Lucky Cherry, or Rocky, which is my favorite. Live bet sports while you watch the game on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app, the Play Gun Lake app as well. You can bet the first 3 innings, the first 5 innings, the whole game, player performances for hits and home runs and strikeouts, and a heck of a lot more. All the action and excitement from the casino right at your fingertips at home or wherever you are. By the way, new users, download the apps right now and get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. The casino bonus has to be wagered. BetParks.com for details. You've got to be 21 and in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or Michigan. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. You love to play. You play to win. You bet. BetParks. Time now for Wednesday headlines from the Smerconish.com daily newsletter. So this is interesting. The Los Angeles Unified School District Board of Education voted to ban cell phone use during the school day. This will take effect in January of 2025, though the LA Times notes the details still need to be approved. By prohibiting cell phone use all day, including during lunch and breaks, board members expressed the hope that students would learn better interpersonal communication skills. They want them to mingle. It reminds me of Jonathan Haidt, the book, The Anxious Generation. I've spoken of the psychologist, the social psychologist from NYU on many occasions. He says our play-based childhoods have been replaced by phone-based childhoods, causing this current mental health crisis. He says we've taught our kids that the world is a dangerous place, and we've become too overprotective in the real world, but we haven't extended that level of concern and protection to the virtual world. And what does he advocate? More unsupervised play, no smartphones before high school, no social media before age 16, and phone-free schools, which is what Los Angeles, LA, is doing right now. This brings to mind yesterday's poll question at Smerconish.com. 25,759 votes were cast. We thank you for that. Should Congress put a warning label on social media platforms advising of potential damage to mental health? 79.01% of us, hooray, I'm in the majority for a change, said yes. This, of course, the idea of Surgeon General Vivek Murthy, who said on Monday that he would push for a warning label on social media platforms advising parents that using the platforms might damage adolescents' mental health. TC, this got a tremendous amount of attention. He cited data which said that teens who spend more than 3 hours a day on social media face significantly higher risk of mental health problems. 46% of adolescents said social media made them feel worse about their bodies. U.S. teens spend an average, ready for this?
Ready.
Of 4.8 hours per day on social media platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, according to a Gallup survey of more than 1,500 adolescents that was released last fall.
Okay, so here's a question about the LA Times story, the LA school story.
Right.
Do teachers and school administrators have to stay off their phones for the day?
I presume not. You know, I presume when they're on break and when they're I mean, this extends even to lunch for the students.
Right.
And a lot of parents were reluctant because, and I can understand
like a
this.
safety thing, or if I have to get a hold of you thing, but we
right.
did it. We
Uvalde, you know, they worry, God forbid, that there's an incident, and how am I going to get in touch with my son or my daughter?
Right.
But I think it's a step in the right direction, and I think you ask an interesting question, and callers yesterday said it's not just our kids.
Right.
We all, you know, spend too much time online. I'm guilty of it for sure.
Right. Yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but I feel like to be a good example, the adults have to follow suit. And I don't know how to do that. I mean, maybe it is as simple as like if you're in the break room, whatever that means. So out of the sight of the students, then you can use your phone, but you certainly can't be checking it, between classes where the kids are seeing it. You can't.
Totally agree.
Yeah.
By the way, the New York Post agreeing with us. Surgeon General Vivek Murthy entirely right. Congress should require a warning label similar to those on cigarettes on social media platforms. Ever more evidence shows that social media use damages young people in particular. Some debate the science. We played a clip yesterday of Jonathan Haidt with me responding to the causation argument. And he laid it out and he pointed to a Google Doc where he and Gene Twangy and others in their orbit have been assembling and making public all of the data that's out there on this issue. So it's all there for your inspection if you're so intended to look at it. And by the way, can I also say Rob Rogers, today is Wednesday. Rob Rogers draws for us on Wednesday. Speaking of warning labels, or as he puts it, speaking of things that need a warning label. So he's playing off of Vivek Murthy. Mm-hmm. He's got a Surgeon General's warning for Donald J. Trump. Today's poll question. Love this poll question and spent a lot of time, even though it's so simple, I spent a lot of time trying to phrase it in the right way. When watching the video of Obama and Biden leaving the stage, and you know what I'm talking about because you're POTUS listeners and viewers, and you're dialed in on all these things, what do you see? And I gave you two choices. I like the alliteration. Do you see friendship or do you see frailty? TC, last night on Fox, on a loop.
Oh, all morning.
On a loop.
All morning on Fox. Everything in the studio, MSNBC, CNN, Fox. Every time I look over, Fox is playing not just one, but all the sort of Biden freezes in rapid succession.
Right. And then what happened is the White House responded by saying that these are cheap fakes and that these are edited. And then Fox News responds in kind and says, no, we're not editing. Here's the full version. And then they show them again, and they show what happened when the president was in Italy for the G7 event, where he was looking at the parachutists. And from one angle, it looks like he's just, off the stage and kind of wandering. Right. And then you see it from a different angle, and you see that he's trying to get the attention and congratulate and give a thumbs up to the parachutists. So there's that. And then there was Saturday night at the fundraiser in Los Angeles, and Christopher Gardner from The Hollywood Reporter, who was our guest here. That was such a good get to hear his perspective because he shot the video. And you do see, President Obama reaching out for President Biden. And by the way, I'm still wondering what was in Obama's mind when he reached out for Biden and then sort of escorted him off the stage. Then came another angle. And when you saw the other angle, at least when I saw the other angle, because I get it, it's a Rorschach test. But when I saw the other angle, it's like Biden just kind of basking in the glow of the adulation from that crowd in Los Angeles. It changed my perspective of it. There's also the Juneteenth White House lawn celebration, which was in between the trip to Normandy and the trip back to Italy. And everybody is like grooving to the music. Kamala Harris is there. The first gentleman is there. Jill is into it. And the president is like stiff as a board. And then there's another one. By the way, do you have the audio of this? So then there's another one where the president yesterday, standing next to Senator Schumer and with others at the White House, blanked on his Secretary of DHS, Alejandro Mayorkas. This doesn't look good. When you see the video of this, let's listen to it.
Thanks to all the members of Congress and Homeland Security Secretary. I'm not sure I'm going to introduce you all the way.
Oh.
I'm not sure I'm going to introduce you all the way.
Oh.
And then he passes it off like a joke, like just joking kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the tweets don't show that whole thing because obviously it's going to cut it right there. So the one side is, oh no, he's making fun of everybody making fun of him. And then I just don't know though. Yeah, no. I don't know. The problem is, you can have stories about why this is this. Oh, he's talking to the paratroopers. Oh, he's there. You would never question any other president or presidential aspirant. You wouldn't question them because they don't look like that.
No.
That's the problem.
What ails him is not going to get better.
No, it's getting worse every day.
Going to get worse every day. And each one of these, I'm sitting here, and I know you're sitting there, trying to call balls and strikes because I don't see them all in similar fashion.
Right, but I think some people, someone just now on YouTube said, another Biden bashing day. Oi. Jeff said that.
Jeff, what do you want me to do? Ignore it? I mean, I can't ignore it. I will tell you this, Jeff, and I've been saying this, and I'm going to deliver a commentary on this on Saturday, I think, because on television I get to show each of these moments. The net effect of all of this still might be to Biden's advantage.
And you have been saying that, which is very unusual.
Because the bar is so low. It's so low for the debate. And the thing is that when the White House pushed back in the form of Karine Jean-Pierre, it just gave Fox another excuse to run all of these things and to say these are not deep fakes, they're not cheap fakes, this is not AI, it's the raw video. Here, take a look, and then they show it again.
And again.
And again. And again. So anyway, I really like today's poll question, not just because I wrote it. When watching the video of Obama and Biden leaving the stage, obviously I'm talking about last Saturday night, which do you see? Friendship or do you see frailty? And again, I ask the question of, what was in President Obama's mind when reaching out for President Biden? Or how about this? How long would Biden have stood there?
Oh, boy.
How long would he have stood there, sort of basking in it? But I'm more troubled with not remembering Alejandro Mayorkas's name yesterday and watching that film footage than I am of what went on in L.A. In L.A., when I saw the second camera angle, I just thought, Biden's in his element. He's loving this. He's loving this. He's looking into a crowd of George Clooney and Julia Roberts and Barbara Streisand, and they are showing adulation for him. I don't know. I might stand there for a bit longer than anticipated too, if I were soaking that up at the moment. But you put all of these things together, and it's tough. It's tough, and a week from tomorrow, it's going to be really interesting. And the question I keep wondering is, can Trump rein in his own behavior? Can he just take it down a notch? We'll see. We'll see. More headlines now from the Wednesday edition of the newsletter. We're in the midst of a heat dome. What's a heat dome? We've got a good story from the Associated Press. It's helpful to think of a heat dome as what's happening in the atmosphere, the AP reports. A heat wave is how that affects people on the ground, according to a research professor at North Carolina State University. When a high-pressure system develops in the upper atmosphere, it causes air below to sink and compress. That raises temperature in the lower atmosphere. Because hot air expands, it creates a bulging dome, hence the heat dome. I saw the 5-day TC for us.
It's crazy.
There's no relief in sight, and it builds to Sunday when it's going to be 99 degrees.
Oh, my gosh. I interviewed a wonderfully scientific wonky guy yesterday for my podcast, which will drop tomorrow, on this topic, talking about WBGT. WBGT, which is how we need to think about this. That is the wet bulb globe temperature. And the reason it feels so oppressive outside is not just the temperature, it's the temperature, the humidity, and the sun. So you have all those things together, and then the stillness of the air. There is no relief. You go outside and you are scorched. And that's a better measurement of how the heat impacts us than just the temperature itself.
So I don't know if this is related to our weather conversation, but I'll just make the observation. I remember the thrill as a kid of catching lightning bugs.
Ooh, yes, I love that.
And last night, I don't, maybe lightning bugs are not a thing that I pay attention to any longer, and maybe there has been a consistency of lightning bugs over the years? Like, I really don't know. All I know is that last night was like Avatar. Last night was amazing.
Really?
In the backyard with just lightning bugs everywhere.
By the way, is it lightning bugs up here? I grew up calling them fireflies.
Lightning bugs.
Fascinating.
Hoagie. Cheesesteak.
Firefly.
Lightning bug. Okay, so look tonight. Tomato.
Okay, I will absolutely. Tomato.
Yeah, look
Yes.
and just see what you see going on. I don't know. I don't know if it's brought on by these conditions. All I
Yeah.
know is it's hot as blazes.
Yeah.
And to like get into a car that has been
yeah.
in the sun all day is just brutal.
Or God forbid, to be working outside. I mean, think about roofers right now. I mean, you can, or people working in the fields, or people working out on the,
so true.
the yard, the roads. Think about
Yeah.
the black asphalts. Like, oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
I worry about our seniors.
Yeah,
I
the
worry,
very young and the very old.
I worry about our pets.
Yep.
I mean, it's bad stuff.
Yeah. it
Really,
is
really bad stuff.
It is bad stuff.
McDonald's ending their AI drive-through trial. McDonald's ending its test of employing artificial intelligent chat box at drive-throughs, raising questions over the fast food industry's rush to roll out the technology. The world's largest burger chain will remove automated AI-based order systems from over 100 locations in the U.S. Apparently, a lot of mistakes and people taking advantage of the technology became memes. Where did I see this? Yeah, on TikTok, a variety of videos circulating purporting to show the system adding erroneous items like butter packets.
Come on.
Or multiplying how many items were ordered. Another video showed two women uncontrollably laughing and calling out the system to stop adding items to their order as it appeared to put hundreds of dollars worth of McNuggets on their tab. So we shall see about that. Getting your children to sleep, the subject of a new scientific survey from the CS Mott Children's Hospital National Poll on Children's Health. Pretty interesting findings in here, including the fact that 23% report their child being worried or anxious at bedtime, and then discussing a whole series of means that parents use to try and put their kids to sleep: soft music, video, TV show, how much light, yada, yada, yada. Your thoughts?
I'm so out of that time frame.
Me too.
Emma will be 27 in August, so she puts herself to bed. But I was really lucky. She was a really good sleeper. I never had issues. She went to bed very early. I mean, I think she had a 7:00 bedtime until she was like in, I don't know, 5th grade or something like that. And after which I went to bed before she did for so many years because we were doing early morning radio. She was just terrific. I also read in that was interesting about parents letting their kids sleep in their own in bed with them, which, hey, you do you, but I was never about that.
Never.
Like, I just could not do that. So that I thought was interesting.
In our house, dogs yes, kids no.
Emma says, like, she remembers the one time she was allowed to sleep in bed with me was when she had like 104-degree fever. She's like, I had to.
That's an exception. That's an exception.
Exactly.
Justin Timberlake, he got to bed a little bit late Monday night.
One drink, Michael.
Said he had one martini.
Yeah.
Said he had one martini. Do you saw the mugshot?
Oh, yes, I saw the mugshot.
Do the eyes say otherwise?
I had a conversation with a friend last night who thought that was a great mugshot. Was like, I would take that mugshot.
Oh, totally.
So,
I want that to be my mugshot.
Oh, okay.
Put
That's
that
what he
back
said
up.
too.
Yeah.
Wait. In other words, so you're not, because I saw it and I was like, oh no, look at those eyes. And then he reminded me of the Nick Nolte mugshot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, you're right. Okay, good. You're right. That's a good
You may as
mugshot.
well smile. Look good.
Yeah.
Look good. He's a handsome dude.
But I have to say, we're making slight light of this. Thank God he didn't hurt himself or hurt somebody else.
Totally agree.
I'm just going with that. And by the way, of all people who could hire a car service for the whole night, easily. Come on.
He spent the night in the slammer.
Well,
he spent the night.
He drove drunk. And
yes,
evidently,
he spent the night, and then he was handcuffed at the hearing the next morning.
Evidently,
for one martini.
The arresting officer had no idea who he was. No idea, which is
how can that
unbelievable.
be?
I don't know.
Is his name really Justin Timberlake? I think that it is.
Yes.
Okay, so he saw the name. It's not as if
didn't recognize the name.
It's not as if he's Sting.
No.
Or Madonna.
Correct. Or Cher.
Huh.
Did not recognize the name.
Let me just say, on the issue of whether he could be hammered on one martini, I believe it's all a function of his tolerance level, what does he drink on a regular basis, and what had he eaten. I will never forget the day on morning radio when the state trooper came in, and this was all like a setup, and we were doing an experiment. I guess we were looking for ratings. And I had a martini at 7 o'clock in the morning. And I think the only thing I had on my stomach were eggs.
That's the whole point.
It wiped me out.
Yeah.
It totally wiped me out.
He also refused a breathalyzer 3 times.
Justin Timberlake did.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you can't win.
You were breathalyzed, right, for that? This was right before I started with you.
Yeah.
So were you above the legal limit?
I don't remember.
Let's do it again.
It would be fun. It would be fun to get the tape. No, not doing that again.
What?
No, those days are over.
Come on.
Yeah. I don't know what spurred that, other than just the thought that it would be interesting.
Well, I think probably it was someone had probably had a drink with dinner, and the question was if you have drink with a steak dinner, because I think someone served you a steak dinner. It was before my time, but I believe that was the story, that they came in, served a steak dinner, had a martini, and then tested your blood alcohol level.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah.
My story is that I had very little on my stomach, and I'm sticking to it.
Okay, there you go.
And finally, on this Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen, the Say Hey Kid Willie Mays is gone. We've got all the coverage. And what I chose to put in the newsletter today was, rather than just an obituary and a straightforward recounting of his career, this is the baseball world responding to Willie Mays' passing. So Barry Bonds and Aaron Judge and Derek Jeter and Bryce Harper and Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, and others are all sharing like their perspective of what the Say Hey Kid meant to them and meant to the game of baseball. Thank you for viewing us, watching us on YouTube. Hey, by the way, if you're listening on POTUS and you're thinking, well, what's he talking about? Go to the YouTube channel. You can watch TC and me every day walk through the headlines. Vote on today's poll question. When you see Obama escorting Biden from the stage, are you seeing friendship or are you seeing frailty? Go vote at Smerconish.com. See you tomorrow.